What makes a film disturbing? Is it graphic gore, sexual content, or death? Or is it just the subject matter which really shows the unspeakable things that humans do to each other? Or is it the emotional turmoil caused by the situation? For me, disturbing is all of these things, but today we're going to talk about the underground disturbing, the banned movies, the controversial ones, and the ones that are impossible to find. These are the films that humanity was not ready for, the films that show the brutalness of mankind. Before we get started, I just want to let you guys know that in the description below, there are 2 videos that I've already done on disturbing movies, 2 lists. The first one was one of my first videos ever, and the second one was when I hit 1,000 subscribers. So they're very old videos, but they have a lot of good lists in them, so definitely check them out. But without further ado, let's jump in, starting with Begotten. Begotten is a 1990 experimental horror film written, edited, produced, and directed by E. Elias Merhige. You may know him from his features of Shadow of a Vampire and Suspect Zero. For those of you who are unaware about Begotten, you might have seen this image floating around on the dark corners of the internet, and it's actually a really good explanation of the essence of this film. Essentially, the film is an interpretation of the book of Genesis. The story opens up, and stay with me, to God killing itself and Mother Nature coming out and then impregnating herself with the Son of Earth. The Son of Earth then vomits gifts to mankind, who in turn burn him and rape his mother. And that's basically the gist of it. It's a surrealist film about the destruction of mankind. Besides the visuals and the subject matter, what I can't show you here is the creepy soundtrack, which to me is the most intense part. It's described as the sound of insects and souls screeching. Yeah. The film took 3.5 years to film and was shot on a 60mm camera on black and white reversal film. Additionally, sandpaper was run over the entire film before shooting to give it that effect. And the film was made for an estimate of $33,000. And at first glance, it does look like it's a very cheap film, but the stylization which makes the film so unique and disturbing was perhaps the most expensive part. The director decided that the sandpaper just didn't cut it, and it said that it took 8 to 10 hours of optical work to produce each minute of the film, which gave the film its final iconic look. It's calculated that the 72-minute film took 8 months of post-production. The next film I want to talk about is a 1967 American documentary that shook the world. Titicut Foley's took us inside a correctional institution in Massachusetts. The aim of the film was to document the lives of the patient inmates of Bridgewater State Hospital for the criminally insane. The film was directed by Frederick Wiseman and has no overwhelming story or follows any characters. It just shows scene after scene of the cold, hard reality of how these people lived, including bullying from the staff and force feeding. The state government tried to ban its release, claiming that the film violated the patient's privacy and dignity, but the director argued that he had received permission from all those who took part in the film or their legal guardian. In 1968, a court ordered that the film was to be recalled and all circulating copies were to be destroyed. And in 1969, the film was actually allowed to be shown, but only to particular people: lawyers, judges, doctors, healthcare workers, and anyone who was a student in that field. Wiseman believes that the state government was less concerned about the dignity of patients and more concerned that the film portrayed the state institution in a bad light. And it wasn't until 1991 that the film was released to the general public. It also aired on TV, but the institute which features in the movie actually did a list of corrections and things that had changed, improvements to the facility, and they made sure that that was aired as well as the documentary, so it aired at the end. Gotta let them know that they changed. The film is highly disturbing because the fact is it's reality, and it's people that are unable to protect themselves. I also want to note the fact that this film was screened to the cast and crew of Shutter Island before they went into production. The next film I want to talk about is rare. So rare, in fact, that you probably have not seen it, and there's a very select few of us who have ever seen it and will ever see it. I'm talking about 2010's Pig. Have you heard about this one? The film is shot in real time following a deranged man torturing 3 captives chained on his land. People describe the film as being beyond violent, taboo, and unwatchable. Adam Manson produced, directed, and edited the film. His intentions were to make a film that was so rare that it became legend, and the film was never sold and never will be sold. But the buzz had to start somewhere, so website Bloody Disgusting hosted a world premiere stream of the movie live in 2010. The film was screened for a second time at South by Southwest in 2017, and after that, it went into hiding. There are rumors that there are some copies circulating through horror fans, but if you do want to watch the first 12 minutes, it's not hard to find that online. Just check Google, it's in Daily Motion. But it's rare and maybe even impossible to find a copy of the whole film. The film runs for 80 minutes and was shot on a budget of $3,000. It had no script and the whole film was improvised. People claim that the film is either a filmmaking experiment or just complete nonsensical torture. Have you seen Pig? I'd love to hear from you. Let me know down below. August Underground is a 2001 found footage exploitation horror film. This film is different to the rest on its list, being it has a strange cult following and 2 sequels. The 3 August Underground films have very low ratings, but the first one is considered one of the most disturbing films of all time by many horror fans. In the first film, 2 serial killers go on a murdering rampage, killing everything in sight, and I mean everything. But the film's controversy really started during film festival season, where director Fred Vogel was arrested while on the way to a film festival with copies of the film and its sequel. He was arrested for transporting obscene materials, and the charges were dropped after 10 hours in custom prison. The Bunny Game is a low-budget horror that many people consider art house. I consider it pure filth. And not the good kind. The film was co-created by Adam Remier and Rudlin Getzik. It follows the journey of a prostitute who's also a drug addict, and she's constantly getting herself in bad situations. She is kidnapped by a truck driver who subjects her to torture, including shaving off her hair and dressing her like a bunny while he dresses like a pig. Getzik, who I mentioned as a co-creator, plays Bunny herself. She said in an interview with horrornews.net that the film is based on real encounters with evil, and that the movie is an expression of disaster. Getzik obtained real injuries while filming, including getting shards of metal stuck in her skin and a real branding on her back. The film was shot in 13 days with a budget of $13,000. For me, the only art house thing about this film is the fact that it's shot in black and white, which most of these films are in black and white that I've mentioned today. But this film is incredibly slow and not much happens at all. It's just 76 minutes of pure torture, and I would not recommend it. Bloody Disgusting summed this up really well. They said something along the lines of that it's not a film in the conventional sense, it's more of an experience, which I think can sum up all of the films on this list. There is one more film or film series that I wanted to talk about today, but it's larger than life and there's a lot of detail in there, and I think I'm gonna go all the way down the rabbit hole with this one and give it its own complete video, and that's gonna be an adventure in itself. So stay tuned for that. That will be up next on my channel, but I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know what disturbing films from this list have you seen. This time I went really dark. The other disturbing films are films that have disturbing aspects, of course, but they're more conventional horror movies. These ones are the dark pits. Let me know if you liked any on this list and what you'd recommend to other sickos, and I'll talk to you guys very soon. If you haven't subscribed, please do, and if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll talk to you then. Bye guys.